The company that has that refinery you see behind me right there, well, that's not the refinery now. I don't know what that is. What is that, guys? A pizza place. Okay. Just a moment ago, we were doing a story about a refinery that's on fire in Houston, and we understand that there's a gentleman who's joining us now to bring us up to date. Oh, there it is. By golly, we got it. David Harpole is joining us now, Public Affairs with Lyondell Bissell, this company that is in charge of refining products that create heating oil, jet fuel, olefins, feedstock, aromatics, lubricants, and petroleum coke. This does sound like the kind of stuff that could be dangerous if it gets out in the community. You guys put this out really fast, though, it seems. Are you there, David?
This is David Harpole with Lyondell Bissell. Yes, I'm here.
I'm sorry. Maybe you didn't hear me as I was introducing you. We'll try it again. It seems to me that you guys were able to put this thing out pretty fast.
Well, we still have response teams in the field, and we are working to clear the situation. We still have teams that are working to ensure that the fire is extinguished.
But the fire itself is out, isn't it?
I do not have that information. No.
Well, we just looked at some live pictures and we didn't see any flames. That's the only reason I'm saying that. I'm not positive myself, but it didn't look. Okay, these are pictures from earlier, and there you see the flames. And then, Raj, I don't know if you can flip now to the other pictures we got just a little while ago, and it'll show that most of the flames were extinguished, although there was still some smoldering going on. Now, we understand that there was an alert put out for people to stay in shelter, to stay out of their, stay inside if they could. Why was that? Just how hazardous is this smoke, and would you tell us why, if in fact it is?
I don't have that level of information. Again, a shelter in place, which is what you seem to be describing, is something that would be called for by local authorities. That's something that's done as a precaution so that persons might not be breathing what's in the air. What we had was a large amount of black smoke, which was the products of combustion from this hydrocarbon fire. That's a good practice. Whenever you see smoke in the air, that's something that should be avoided. And whether or not a shelter in place was called, I'm not clear, but that certainly would be an advisable recommendation.
Do you know what caused this thing?
Too early to tell at this point. Again, we still have response teams in the field where we're looking to account for all personnel. Once we have the area secured, that we can call it all clear, we'll begin the process of an investigation to determine just what caused this fire.
Oh, by the way, I do have the information here in front of me, and a shelter in place was called for that area. Is that normal?
That would certainly be a recommended precaution, yes. And anytime there's smoke in the air, that's something that should be avoided.
So the fact that heating oil and jet fuel and olefins and aromatics and lubricants and petroleum coke was manufactured there doesn't tell us anything about how hazardous or noxious these fumes could possibly have been?
Well, what you're going to see in a fire of this type is a form of incomplete combustion, and that's going to generate a great deal of smoke, and that's what people would have been seeing in the air, and I think that is advisable to avoid that smoke, yes.
But it's just smoke. I mean, it's not like a... by the way, these are the live pictures now, and you can see that the fire is out, and kudos to the folks out there who responded to this because they did a good job. Again, I'm just trying to nail this down. If I'm a resident of Pasadena and that smoke is coming toward me, am I at risk of taking a whiff of this stuff and dropping dead? Or is it just smoke as would be smoke from a fire at one of my neighbor's houses?
You're clearly oversimplifying things, but anytime you have smoke of this degree, it's something that should be avoided. And those precautions, I'm understanding, are being taken. Just to clarify your other comment, too, the wind is of a different direction, and it would not be blowing toward Pasadena.
Okay, but the smoke is not as hazardous as, let's say, for the sake of example, anhydrous ammonia, for example.
Well, that's all the information that I have at this time. Again, I have other media that are standing by. I'm going to have to address them at this point. Thank you.
Was that guy for real? I mean, you can't make this stuff up. He had absolutely no answers for any of my questions. He barely knew what he was talking about. He said he didn't understand most of the stuff that he was talking about, and then he hangs up. What? All right, take a look at this.